Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through this deep interior clean of a Volkswagen Polo. This car hasn't been cleaned in many months. The owners have a dog, so there's a lot for me to get through. As we go along, I'll try and offer you some tips and tricks to how to get the best out of the clean in the least amount of time. This will include all the tools and chemicals that I use, as well as what I do in what order. I appreciate not everyone will want to spend the money on all of these tools and chemicals, so I'll also be trying to offer some budget-friendly options along the way. Okay, so I normally start at the rear of the car and work my way forwards. There's no hard and fast rule for this. I just find less dirt blows back around the car doing it from back to front. And also, if you need to get into the car to move it around at all during the clean, you're going to be putting your dirty feet on the clean mat, so it just saves having to do that twice. Now, as you'll see throughout this video, I have 3 steps to cleaning all of the cloth materials in the car. The tool that you can see me using now is a little bit of a specialist tool. It's called a tornador and it works off of an air compressor gun. These tools are extremely good for agitating trapped in grit and dirt out of the cloth. Although the tornador works very well for saving time, the cost of an air compressor plus the gun itself is rather high, so most people may just wish to use the hoover on its own. It may take more time, but you obviously save that cost. Hoovering is without a doubt the biggest bang for your buck you'll get when cleaning the interior of your car. It's well worth spending as much time as needed to get that final pristine look. A good way to ensure that you get all the dirt out of the seats is to press your hand next to the stitching. This will open the stitching up and you can hoover in the gap. I also push the front seats fully forward before hoovering the back floor. As anyone with children will know, you like to find all kind of old food and wrappers etc. under here, so creating as much access as possible makes things much easier. Although this car didn't have anything like chewing gum or sticky sweets in the carpet, if you do find anything like that, a great way to remove it is to use a household steamer. This will loosen it up and you can usually pick it out with something like a toothpick or a fork. Try not to press it further in the carpet, obviously. The tornador can also be used for the plastic areas of the car. However, if you do use the liquid chemical, just be sure you don't use anything too strong, as this may bleach the plastics. Now that the floors in the rear have been done, I'll move the front seats fully back, so then that gives me as much access as possible to the front floors. Using this method should allow for a good clean of all of the area under the seat, including the seat rails, which are very important to keep debris out of. This car has the wiry, tangly carpet, also known as impossible carpet, because it's almost impossible to clean. Dirt does get very trapped in here easily. I've no idea why manufacturers use this for their cars. If you spend the time hoovering it, you can get a good result, but I would recommend trying to get into all of the corners, nooks and crannies around, up behind the glove box and up behind all the pedals. If you do find there are some parts that just will not hoover up, then a scrape with your finger or a toothpick will normally loosen these out, and then you go over again with a hoover and you'll be able to get rid of them. For cars with a lot of dog hair or dog hair that's really stuck into the fibres, there are specialist detailing tools available on the internet. A couple of brands I would recommend are the Lily Brush and the Analan tool. Fortunately, the hair in this car came out quite easily with a hoover, which allowed me to move straight onto the shampooing, and for this I use a Blistle Spot Pro. This is a powerful and compact tool that's very good for getting into the smaller spaces inside a car. Again, this tool isn't the cheapest, so a more budget-friendly option would be the P&S Double Black collection of chemicals. These can just be rubbed into the material and wiped off, and they very effectively clean cloth. With all the seats and carpet shampooed, I'll move on to the hard plastics of the car, starting with the doors. For this, my favourite product is called CarPro Inside. This is a fantastic cleaner and it can be used straight for heavy cleaning or diluted anything down to 1 to 5 for a lighter clean. Although not all of the hard plastics within the car may look dirty, I highly recommend cleaning them anyway, as this will get rid of any odour or bacteria that you can't see. One area that often gets missed but is well worth doing are the car's pedals. These are obviously the dirtiest area of the car, but please be sure not to use anything that will leave any wax or protection on that may make them slippery. A set of detailing brushes is also a very worthy addition to your car cleaning equipment. They only cost a few pounds and can make it much easier to get into the hard to reach areas. Just be sure to get interior detailing brushes and use them on the inside of the car and not exterior ones, as these may scratch the delicate plastic. Also, please be sure never to use detailing brushes on your infotainment screen or your speedometer glass, as these will easily scratch. As you can see here, I'm just using a soft cloth for the infotainment screen and any of the dials. If you do get a scratch on the infotainment screen, you'll notice it every time you get in the car, so it's well worth protecting. Right, onto the steering wheel. Now for the leather of this, I use a detailing brush and some more CarPro inside. But for the buttons, we again need to take care not to damage them or use too much product, as we don't want to get anything wet inside the circuitry. Once cleaned, the leather in the steering wheel should go from shiny to a matte or satin effect. When you see this, you know all the skin oils and bacteria have been removed. Just go slowly and steadily, don't do anything too harsh and damage the wheel during the cleaning process. Moving on to the floor mats. Now we're giving these a good shake and a pat down just to get any loose or large debris off before we begin the cleaning process. Then, just the same as the car seats and carpets, we begin with a tornador, and then a vacuum, and then finally with the carpet shampooer. Car mats are slightly different, as they're more likely to have soaked in dirt from wet shoes and trainers. This usually means that more work with the carpet shampooer is needed than the hoover. If you do have a tornador, this is also a great time to use the bottle and the all-purpose cleaner for a liquid clean. When the mats are done and all put in the car, then all that's left to do is the inside of the windows. Sadly, I lost a recording for this, but just to give a few tips on that. The chemical I use is called Built Amber Traceless. This is an excellent glass cleaner that doesn't leave any streaks or smears. I would recommend getting a dedicated low nap glass microfiber cloth. One of these is included with the Built Amber Traceless chemical when you buy it. Okay, well that's it from me guys. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.